Orion is a great B&M Giga coaster located at Kings Island. It opened in 2020, stands 287 feet tall, has 5,321 feet of track, reaches a top speed of 91 miles per hour, and has some of the most unique elements on any B&M. It anchors one of the best coaster lineups out there and is an amazing ride. This is our full-length, in-depth review of Orion and our comments about what you can expect when you go to Kings Island to ride this coaster. Now, let's take a trip into outer space to meet Orion. Orion is located in the Area 72 section of Kings Island, over by Flight of Fear on the other side of Racer. It replaced Firehawk, a Vekoma Flying Dutchman, and the park's Dinosaurs Alive walkthrough attraction. When Orion opened, Kings Island rethemed the then X-Base section to Area 72. And there are only two attractions in Area 72, Flight of Fear and Orion. As you make your way over to Area 72, you will already start to see some extraterrestrial, almost Area 51 theming. Right before you go under Racer, you will see an old car broadcasting alien-based conversation points, saying that there is obviously something more out there and that the broadcaster was right about the existence of aliens. After you go under Racer, you immediately enter the massive Area 72 Plaza. Directly ahead of you, you will see Flight of Fear's ride and queue building. This walk-up is similar to the one you get at Kings Dominion, only Kings Island has updated the Flight of Fear facade to fit in with the Orion theme. As you take a right, you will enter a massive dedicated plaza featuring several theming elements and incredible views of Orion's massive lift hill. This plaza has a similar effect as the ones for Fury 325 at Carowinds and Project 305 at Kings Dominion. Before going into the queue, there are some interesting theming points worth mentioning. There are massive drums with the number 72 on them, several attention signs encouraging volunteers, and several numbered buildings with Flight of Fear as building number 18, a couple of refreshment stands as building number 44, and Orion's station building as building number 20. In addition to the other theming elements, there is a massive archway tunnel displaying the ride's name and logo. There is even a satellite dish on top of that tunnel, which is a cool fact. As you make your way through the queue, you will encounter even more theming, including posters with the name Project X on them, a container holding some space rocks, and even some hanger-like covers over the queue sections. When you get closer to the station, you will either go past or through one of the best themed sections of any queue at a Cedar Fair park, the primary Fort Mason Research Compound. There, you will see some elaborate astronaut lockers filled with helmets, books, and spacesuits. And in the center of the room, there is a large table displaying the blueprints for Orion. And on both sides of the table, there are two clear whiteboards showing actual mathematical equations. This section of the queue is definitely one of the best queue sections in the park. After you go through the research compound, you start climbing some stairs, which will take you up alongside and into the station. As you enter the station, you will get a little more theming and see one of Orion's 3 8-row 32-passenger trains. Aside from other hypers like Thunderstriker and Diamondback, these trains have the same 4-across seating that you can find on pretty much every other B&M hyper. Once you have boarded your train, buckled your seatbelt, secured your clamshell restraint, and cleared dispatch, you make your way out of the station to start your ascent up the lift hill. As you crest the top of the lift hill, you get a great view of the Mason, Ohio landscape and the rest of the park before plunging down Orion's 300-foot first drop sloped at 85 degrees. If you are sitting towards the back of the train, you will get sustained airtime all the way down. At the bottom of the first drop, you then climb into a massive leftward-facing wave turn, which delivers some good floater airtime. As you come off that wave turn, you straighten for a moment before climbing up into Orion's reverse treble clef turnaround. For those sitting towards the front of the train on the left side seats, you will actually get a slight pop of floater airtime before descending down that turnaround. You then fly over a great speed hill, which, depending on the time of day, delivers a great pop of strong flowjector airtime, and up into a great floater airtime hill. Off that floater airtime hill, you start banking towards the right into the coaster's Orion's Belt Helix, which climbs upwards before diving downwards. As you exit Orion's Belt, you take a banked left-hand turn into a leftward banked airtime hill, which delivers a great pop of flowjector airtime before straightening for one last pop of airtime up into the final brake run. Orion is an incredible ride. It is fast, forceful, and certainly unique. But it is a roller coaster that requires you to temper your expectations. Orion is not Fury 325. It is its own individual ride experience with a lot to love about it. It has the only wave turn on a B&M, an amazing flowjector speed hill, some good floater airtime, one of the most forceful helices on any B&M, and an incredibly memorable finale. If there is one element that one should compare between Orion and Fury, it is the first drop. Orion's first drop is amazing and a great way to kick off the ride. It feels so good, and that might be due in large part to its 85-degree angle. It may not have the 320-foot height of Fury's, but Orion's first drop is so steep that it launches you out of your seat, especially while sitting in the back row. While the wave turn and reverse treble clef turnaround are good, the next standout moment is that speed hill. And as the ride warms up, you can actually get a great moment of flowjector airtime before gracefully flying over the larger floater airtime hill. What stands out most about the ride experience is just how forceful the Orion's belt helix is. You enter it with so much power that you might actually gray out just a little, but you come to shortly thereafter with more than enough time to experience that banked airtime hill, which is pure bliss and delivers a final moment of strong flowjector airtime right before the end of the ride. Aside from the elements themselves, Orion is actually fairly intense. Whether it is because of a rattle due to Kings Island's land or a different mix of elements, Orion takes its wave turn, turnaround, and helix with significantly more force than expected. Nonetheless, Orion is an incredible roller coaster with a standout ride experience. It also has some of the best theming in the park, especially when combined with the Area 72 Plaza I'm a Score soundtrack, which is just so good. Overall, Orion is a great roller coaster. While it is shorter than most had expected it to be, it does a lot well with the elements it has. Its first drop, wave turn, speed hill, helix, and final banked airtime hill before the final brakes are some of B&M's best elements. For a final score, we give Orion a 9.5 out of 10. It was only a matter of time before Kings Island got a Giga, and Orion is a great one for such a world-class park. While it might not be nearly as good as Fury 325, Orion is still one of the best rides out there. So, let us know in the comments if you have ridden Orion at Kings Island, and if so, what you think about it. And if you enjoyed this video or are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for more coaster content like this. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more coaster reviews and amusement park content from Coaster Adventures, and we hope to see you in the next one.